Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing something very special because today we are doing the PGR, the official PGR Proofs Great Ranking. It is finally here, the top 10 players of 2022, long anticipated, but we've finally gotten around to doing it, as well as having 20 through 11 done as well, but we're going to be staying mainly in depth with that top 10 slot. But our 20 to 11 is we have 20th is Kameme, Zamba is 19th, 18th is Mia, Dabuz is 17th, 16th is Yoshidora, 15th is Kurama, 14th is Kola, 13th is Meister, 12th is Sonics, and 11th is Riddles. If you guys have questions about that, please let me know down below. We also all did these on stream. There will be a link to that VOD in the description down below. But without any further ado, let us get right into the top 10. And the final thing I have to mention, I promise this is the last one, is going to be flex. And the way that flex works is if a player has a plus or minus one flex, it means they could be moved up or down one slot. It is basically just the range of how good a player actually is. So if a player is ranked 10, but they have a flex of -2, then they could be also ranked at 12 or 11th. We just have them ranked at 10, but that's kind of like the range that we have. Okay, that's the last thing. Please enjoy. Our number one player is going to be Glutiny with a plus or minus one flex factor, and this season he has wins on MKLeo, Spargo, Light, Sonics, Dabuz, Kola, Meister, and Zamba, among other players. Glutiny has a bunch of incredible wins, but a lot of unfavorable losses as well. He has losses against Peli, Rihan, Momon, and Alan Dis, who are all amazing players, but just aren't ranked very high, which hurt him a lot, as well as his performances in Europe. Granted, on this list, the wins and the losses are way more valuable than the performances himself, but it certainly doesn't hurt when you're supposed to be the king of Europe and he's not dominating over there like he usually does. But he has amazing performances this season, like a second at Genesis and a first at Pound, among other events. Glutiny is an incredible player with a very strong start to the season and a weaker finish, but I know he'll pick it up within 2023 because he is unreal. Our number 9 player is going to be ProtoBanham with a -2 flex factor and wins on MKLeo, Spargo, Light, Shutone, Riddles, Dabuz, Kola, Tweek, and Kameme, but some unsavory losses to Chicken, Takara, Showers, and Leah. ProtoBanham within the US looks like the best player in the world, with a 3rd at Ultimate Summit 4, a 1st at Ultimate Summit 5, and Double Down, but has had some unfortunate performances in Japan, and kind of like Glutiny, he struggles within his home region. But when he travels to NA, he is an absolute beast. The fluidity of the way he uses his characters is unlike anyone in the world, and he is only going to go up within the 2023 season. Our number 8 player is going to be T with a flex factor of 0 and wins on Sonics, Shutone, Riddles, Dabuz, Glutiny, ProtoBanham, and his worst losses being to Orion and Kronos. T has won a major in 3 different continents this year, with wins at Crown 2, UFA, Laodicea, and Winter, as well as a bunch of other amazing performances. His Kazuya has become a serious threat this year, and the only thing that is really holding him down from a higher rank is the fact that he doesn't have as many amazing wins as the players above him, but he also really doesn't have that many bad losses. His only one being Orion and Kronos, and again, both those players probably would be ranked within the top 150 if they just went to more tournaments, because they are unreal, as well as T being just an incredible player. And if we see him fight more against these top 5 legacy players, then T has a very high chance to be ranked even higher within 2023. Our number 7 player is going to be Onan with a flex factor of +2 and wins on MKLeo, Light, T, Riddles, Meister, Glutony, Zamba, and some unsavory losses to Wadi, Icy Mist, and Ned. Onan had a meteoric rise this year, starting off fairly weak with a weak Glitch Infinite and Let's Make Big Moves to a top 10 standard, of course, but then winning both Combo Breaker, Gommel, SmashCon, and a bunch of other regionals. Onan is one of the most consistent players we have in Ultimate, with some of the highest highs, beating MKLeo in one of the most dominant fashions that we have ever seen. And his losses aren't honestly that bad, with a little bit of a Demon in Icy Mist and Akola. Onan is a player whose adaptation is so unreal and underrated, and is only going to get better as he continues to play and get more tournaments in. Onan is a new player with a boundless amount of potential, and I can't wait to see what he does in 2023. Our number 6 player with a plus or minus factor of 1 is going to be Tweek, with wins on MKLeo, Spargo, Light, Sonics, Shutone, Riddles, Meister, Glutony, ProtoBanham, Zamba, Kurama, and many more, and his worst losses being to Kronos, AC, and Toast. Tweek is a player with a rough middle of the season, but his start and ends are so strong, with second places at Collision, Scuffle Tour, and Main Stage, and a win at Port Priority 7, among other amazing tournaments. Tweek is incredible, and his Sephiroth Diddy combo is looking very strong going into 2023, where you know he's going to want to take that title back. His biggest demon in bracket right now is probably Spargo, or Akola, but nothing that he can't overcome as he is an incredibly adaptive player with a very bright future, and going into 2023, he is aiming for that number 1 spot. Our number 5 player is Shutone with a -2 and +1 flex factor and wins on MKLeo, Spargo, Zamba, Akola, ProtoBanham, T, Yoshidora, Glutiny, Debuzz, Sonics, and Kurama, and losses to Leah, Abadongo, and Ouch. Shutone is one of the most consistent players in the world with a win at Wave 2, 3rd places at both Kaguribi 8 and the Scuff World Tour, among a bunch of other top 8 performances. Shutone is absolutely incredible. His combination of Aegis and Olimar is one of the best co-mains in the world and the highest ranked co-main in the world. Shutone is so consistent and so underrated. He can be anyone. His destruction at Leo at the Scuff World Tour really shows how amazing he is as a player, and he can never be counted out of a bracket, and I imagine he's aiming for that number 1 spot in not only Japan, but the world in 2023. Our number 4 player is going to be Light with a flex factor of -1 and wins on MKLeo, Akola, Sonics, Onan, Riddles, Tweek, Zamba, Kameme, Debuzz, Meister, Glutony, and Akola, and his worst losses being to Vendetta, Jake, and Aaron. Light, even though he has some underperformances at Glitch Infinite and LSI, he has won Momocon, Glitch Region, 2nd place at Summit 4 and 5, and is just an incredible player overall with insane amounts of consistency. On a character like Fox, who has some very volatile matchups, Light can always make it work. He is never out of a game, which is just something that is so inspirational to see. He is so quick. His ledge trapping is absolutely unreal. He's gotten that number 1 spot in NA this year, and I imagine for 2023, he is shooting for that number 1 spot in the entire world. Our number 3 player in the world and the best player in Japan is going to be Akola with a flex factor of +1 and wins on Spargo, Light, Shutone, Tweek, Onan, T, Riddles, Akola, Mia, ProtoBanham, Zamba, Kurama, and Yoshidora, with his worst losses being to Repo, Mutace, and Kameme. Akola's first year of offline Smash was a dominant one with wins at Let's Make Moves Miami, the Invitational, Kaguribi 7, Meisuma Top 10, just to name a few. And his worst losses are not even that bad. His worst losses, one of them is in the top 20. That is how dominant and consistent Akola is, only missing 1 top 8 throughout the entire year, and for your first year of Smash, that is pretty impressive. His Steve is the most dominant in the world. He is pioneering this character with some of the best neutral and combos in the game, and he's looking to have a very strong year in 2023, as his secondaries are still incredibly strong. He's a very good Aegis, a very good Kazuya, a good Donkey Kong, but we're not going to talk about that. Akola is an incredible player he's only going to get better because he's only going to get more and more experience. This is his first year and he's already within that top 3 slot. It is just so impressive how good he is. Our number 2 player in the world is going to be Spargo with a flex factor of -1 and wins on MKLeo, Akola, Light, Shutone, Tweek, Onan, T, Glutony, Riddles, Sonics, Meister, Zamba, Kurama, and his worst loss is our Mutace, Akola, and Kurama. To name a few majors that Spargo has won, he won Main Stage, Scuff World Tour, and Collision. And that is a few. Spargo is the most consistent player in the world, never missing a top 8 throughout the entirety of the year, and the only thing really holding him back is going to be his attendance, because he has basically no bad losses. His worst loss is, again, Mutace, who is within that top 30 range. Like, he has wins on basically every top 10 player. Spargo is incredible, and shooting for 2023, he's looking to be the best player in the world. Right now, he is in a streak of 2 major wins in a row, and he's looking to continue that this weekend at Let's Make Big Moves, and honestly, there's a very strong chance that he does. Spargo is unreal, one of the fastest players, and has the most potential out of any player in the world to take that number 1 spot, and I think 2023, he's got a very good chance. And our number 1 player in the world is, of course, MKLeo with a flex factor of 0 and wins on Spargo, Akola, Light, ProtoBanham, Glutony, Riddles, Sonics, Meister, Akola, Kurama, and Debuzz, and his worst losses are to Larry Lure, Chag, and Meister. And though on paper Spargo may look like the better player, when Leo is playing at his peak, he looks simply untouchable. The way he uses Slingshot is like no one else. He is months ahead on that tech. When he is on a roll, it is so hard to stop him. His use of Byleth, Joker, and Aegis is all incredible. The way he counterpicks the matchup there is so smart, and he has wins at LSI, Genesis, E Carabina, Smash Factor, to name a few. MKLeo can do it all. He can beat anyone. And even though this is definitely his worst year in Smash, he is still so incredible. And I feel like pretty clearly in terms of gameplay, the best player in the world. Though maybe not for long, as Spargo is getting very close to taking that spot. You have Light, Akola, Shutone, Tweek all nipping at the heels as well, and a bunch of amazing players who have beaten him before. Even though Leo is still the best player in the world for now, he's going to have to look out for it in 2023. But if there's anyone that can hold that crown for as long as they have, it's of course Leo, and he is the #1 player in 2022. And I thank you guys for watching. That was the official PGR of 2022. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys' rankings are down below if you agree, disagree, all that good stuff. Sport's been absolutely unreal lately. And of course, the VOD to where we made this entire ranking will be in the description below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.